Happy Friday! Today I get to share all about vendor events, so that's going to be fun. On my computer and not my phone today, and I don't know why, but going live on my computer is so much different. Pull up my notes because I have so many notes because I don't want to miss anything. This is going to work better this way. Let's see. Minimize that. And you get to hear all about my horror story for my very first event. It was a literal mess, experience that I had with another consultant. So that was fun. Let me see. Hi, Brittany. Hey, everyone. So, let me see. I need to minimize some stuff here to make this a little bit easier for me. Oh my god, this is a mess. Okay, so, my very first event, maybe some of you are here, and maybe that scares you, because it is different if you're not used to them. Or if you don't really know what to expect, that's kind of different too. So, first event, I got there, set everything up, didn't have as much as what I have now, didn't go in with a bunch of inventory, and, set it up, was super excited to just completely rock the event, and then this lady comes up to me. I've never seen her before in my life. I don't know who she is. Comes up and she's like, "Hey, I'm also a Scentsy consultant. I would have done this differently. I would have made that pegboard, because I just had like a pegboard and hinges connected so I could just showcase like the little amount of bars that I had in scent circles and scent packs." She basically told me how she would have changed everything on my setup and made it Scentsy. That was really before I knew that not everything has to be purple. Not everything has to look just like it came off of the Scentsy website. Things are popping up and it's weird. I have no idea what that is. But it really left a bad impression, because if anyone is going to sit here and tell you how you should change everything in your business and how you should change everything, especially at very first event, I told her it was my first event, and I thought she was, going to just say things or offer advice from a place of love. No, that is not what I got, and so it was really kind of crap, and I'm happy that I didn't let that event stop me from doing more, because now I know stories about this lady, and she's not arrows out, and she's actually gotten her own teammates' businesses shut down before. So, I mean, I'm happy that I came across this person, but I'm also not happy that this kind of person exists in our culture and in our community. But that's my horror story. So I made it through it, and, went on to bigger and better things with events. And I don't have to see her, so it's great. It's wonderful. Except I saw her at SFR one year in Anaheim and wanted to die, because I don't need anybody trying to tell me all of these things that I could do differently. I'd rather not. So, that's my horror story. I avoid her like the plague. So that's what it is. One of the biggest questions that I'm always asked when it comes to events is, where can I find them and how do I get into them? So I'll start with those. The first thing I always do is go onto the City Hall pages. Pulling my notes up because it is all messed up on here. City Hall pages, they're going to always have a events calendar. Check there. The same thing for churches, fairgrounds, convention centers, Chamber of Commerce. Facebook events will show you upcoming events in your area. Check those, and you can see the dates and make sure they work for you. Holidays are always going to be hit or miss. Like, a lot of places do events on like Mother's Day or Father's Day. Foot traffic usually isn't very big for those. Hit or miss, do them or don't. That is up to you. But if you are a new consultant and have never done events, it isn't a bad idea to kind of see what they are like, because then you're not going to have like a overwhelming flow of people all the time. So that could be a good place to start for you. You can search on Facebook for vendor events in your local area, and then they will have a lot of different options and different events popping up everywhere. If you know other people in direct sales, you can reach out to them and see what events they have lined up, and then reach out and see if they know if there's another Scentsy consultant there. If not, then they could be your person of contact and give you that information. Or they can give you the event coordinator's information. This is what I wrote down. Ask your friends to tag you in posts when they see upcoming events, because then you can reach out to those pages or the people in charge to find out the information. The biggest thing you need to ask, though, is, do you already have a Scentsy consultant? Because we don't want to step on anyone's toes, but it's never a bad idea to give them your information in case there is an emergency and that consultant needs to back out. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. Emergencies do happen, and then sometimes people will have to last minute cancel. So give your information freely like that. If you need to Google search events, established events are generally going to have their own webpage or give you contact information. You can reach out to the person in charge and get the dates and the prices. And you're going to want to ask if you can have electricity and what you need as a vendor. Sometimes they will offer tables for you to rent or chairs, or sometimes they will have you claim certain spots in the space if you want it to be by outlets, or if you wanted to just reserve your own location in the space, you can do that. Some vendor events will run in table space, or they'll just give you a open space that's a 10 by 10 or an 8 by 8 or a 6 by 6. It honestly just depends on the vendor, because each event is going to be different. If you are having a hard time finding events in your area, don't be afraid to look out of town. But then also, if that is not an option for you, or getting there would be an issue, don't be afraid to create your own event, because you can contact some of your friends who also sell things and just do like a one-day pop-up or something. Depending on where you do it, you may have to rent out a space, or you may have to have certain insurance, depending on the location. Cost of events, they generally range, well, the ones that I come across generally range between $15 to $500. It depends on if you want a small event or if you want a big event. Sometimes you'll find events that are free, or that will just require you to donate something. I've done several fundraising events, and it didn't cost the vendors anything. All you had to do was provide a donation from the sales that you made that day. That can be an option. Do not go broke or spend all of your money trying to get into an event. That just isn't what we do. Sometimes you will have to rent tables, chairs, and then pay extra also for electricity. That's a normal thing. So if somebody is asking you for that, if you need any of those things and you need it, go for it, because either way, all of this is going to be a write-off at the end of the year for your business expenses. And it's not uncommon if people have on the contract that you're going to have to sign if you need to rent a table or any of that stuff too. So that's very common. It's not a red flag. If you're ever hesitant on information on a event, feel free to reach out to your sponsor or your upline, because we know kind of red flags and what kind of seems like a scam. Yeah, we're not going to set you up to fail that way. We can give you our insight and our experience with it too. If you are new with Scentsy or have never done events before in person, start with a small one. Generally churches or, I don't know, churches or little events, smaller scale. They don't exactly always have a lot of foot traffic. I would kind of just start with one of those as opposed to like a fair, which is better for, I don't know, more seasoned consultants who have a lot, because you're gonna, let me see, I should check comments as I do this too. I forgot. I was just reading off my notes. Sorry. Let me see. Smaller scale events are going to be better if you are newer or aren't confident at events, really. They're a good practice for you, and they're going to make it a little bit easier when you're building relationships or just starting to figure out how to small talk with customers, or even just create those conversations in general. I'm not a people person. I might come across like it, but I really don't like people. And I think it's because I worked retail for so long, so I saw like all the bad, and so I just kind of refrain from people as much as possible. But I like events, so it's weird. It doesn't really make sense. Established events can be harder to get into because they normally will have their Scentsy person return year after year. But like I said earlier, don't be afraid to reach out and give that your information, just because you never know what may come up. Smaller events are better when they have less traffic because you can build better relationships with the customers because you can spend more time with them. Hi. No, we're not going swimming. Go. Go. Yes. Go. At bigger events and with a lot of foot traffic, it's hard to really build relationships and talk a lot with customers. So if you're new, smaller events, honestly, are better for that. Let me see. Sorry about my heathen coming in. I'm sure you're all, used to that now, because that's what he does. Crashes the party. You do not have to have stock to do events, but people like the convenience of being able to take stuff home today. So if you are able to have inventory on hand for events, you don't have to do it all the time, but you can have it with you for the event because you will make profit off of it, and you can use that money however you want. The biggest goal for events is to build contacts, whether that mean potential customers, potential teammates. Don't be afraid to make relationships with other vendors, because you can stay in contact with them and start friendships, and then you look out for each other when you're going to be working an event and you notice they don't have a vendor for that, or if there isn't a competitor, you could be the person that gets them into that event. So build those relationships with other people in sales as well. I think my goal for events is to break even. So if my event were to cost me $25, I would need to sell like $100 in product to break even. That way I don't lose anything. So some of the events that I do are bigger and they cost around $500 to do. I would need to sell around $2,000 worth of product to break even, just because that's what the commission comes out to. And forming relationships at these events are going to be good, because then that can be ongoing sales for you. So instead of just, busy, because if bigger events are going to be busy, you really don't have a lot of time to talk with customers because it is packed. There's one that I've done at the fair, not the fair, it's at the fairgrounds, but it's Ag Fest, and I want to say my mom and I sold $1,600 or $1,800 in the 2 days that we were there, just in product that we had on hand. So people are there, and people are always going to want to be spending money, but they also like that they can take stuff home that day. Carrying stock on hand and why I do it. I do have a lot of stock on hand, and the reason why is because I always want to be prepared in case an event comes up. I don't want to have someone come up to me and say, hey, can you do this event this weekend? And then me not be prepared. So I generally will always have stuff here just to make that work. As long as I'm open to having stuff on the weekend or whenever it comes up. The biggest things that sell at events for me are going to be bars, bulbs, and then like scent circles, room sprays, mini warmers, and then pods and mini fan diffusers. Those are the biggest things that I push right now. To get these for cheap, utilize your host rewards, because then you can capitalize on the profit when it comes to event day. And then definitely buy things in bundles, because that'll make it cheaper for you, and then you'll be able to have more product on hand to turn around and sell. If you're not sure of what scents to choose, start with the classic scents like Luna, Black Raspberry Vanilla, Blueberry Cheesecake, Sunkissed Citrus, and so on. Generally, somebody is always going to want at least one of those when they're looking for different scents. Signage when it comes to like pricing and everything like that. It's really important to have everything clearly marked, because then if you don't, and I've had this before, because some events I don't price everything. I like the opportunity for customers to come and talk to me and ask me questions, but some people aren't going to be a fan of that, and if they don't see the prices clearly marked, they're just going to walk away and leave. Easy way to do it is to type up pricing on a Word document and then print it, and then you can use packing tape or just Scotch tape and tape it to your table. Or you can get the little table stands that will hold it nicely for you, that look really professional. Upselling, super easy, and this is what they do at McDonald's. Would you like fries with that? Like, super easy way to look at it. Show customers the best way for them to save money, and the more that you do it, the more they'll keep coming back to you. So if someone is looking at bars and scent circles and room sprays, push the buy 5, get 1 free. If somebody is looking at mini fan diffusers, let them know or show them how they work with the pods. If somebody's looking at scent circles, tell them the hack with the room sprays about putting them in a Ziploc bag overnight and spraying them with the room spray to keep them refreshed and give them new life. It's a money saver, and it's another way to turn that sale up and, increase it. The more we sell, chances are the better it comes back to us, money-wise. If somebody's looking at mini warmers, I always ask them if they want a bar to go with it. And don't be afraid, if somebody buys a mini warmer, to ask if they wanted to add one of the bulbs with it too. Or add a 3-pack of bulbs, either way. And it is very possible to give zero pressure service while not coming across like a car salesman. I think the biggest way to have success when doing events is to not be in their face. Like, let them look, let them know that you are there if they have questions, but don't be in their face. Like, I don't know anyone who likes to go shopping and have that person there that immediately greets them when they come in, is forcing conversation throughout the whole entire time at the store. That is like a sign for me that I don't want to be there. It makes me uncomfortable. So no pressure shopping. Like, don't be a helicopter consultant. You can like be aware of what's going on and allow them to look, and then just kind of like listen in. Like, if they have questions or if they seem unsure of something, then step in and just ask them if they're doing okay. One thing that I did at my last event, because we had the NFL bars available, I would smell it, and I would be smelling it in front of them, and I asked them, what do you think the NFL smells like? And it's an icebreaker, and then I have them smell it. And it isn't what they're expecting. Like, a lot of people are like, sweat and, whatever. Doesn't think it's gonna smell good. But then they smell it, and then they're just surprised. But, there's so many different ways you can do that with any scent, and the more that you have them smell things, it just kind of opens the door for you to just have that conversation with them. Not everyone is going to be open to it, so don't be hindered if one person doesn't want to really talk, because not everybody wants to be chatty while they shop. Some people just kind of want to do their own thing. Every time somebody brings me everything that they want, or I help them like create a pile at the table for them to check out, I have, it depends on what they get, but I get the 10 customer order bags from the consultant store. They're 10 for $1. I get those. They generally will fit warmers, but then I also make sure to go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's and I get these gift bags too, or Michael's or wherever. The dollar store also has bags that are kind of in a little bundle that you can get too that are really inexpensive. In every bag that goes out though, I always include a business card. I include, let me see what else I have in here. You can include product lists. You can include showcase brochures. You could include, I don't know what is in here. You can include the warmer and scent of the month flyer with a sample to just give them more things to leave with. You can include a join brochure, a rack card, anything like that really. The brag tag, so when they get home they can find you on social media and tag you so their friends can see what they got and who they got it from. Do that too. If you have any information for Scentsy Club, give that to them, because too many people don't even know what it is yet. I don't hand out catalogs because they're too expensive to just give away like that, so I always carry product lists, and I have them actually like in stacks on my table so people can take them as they want. Everything you give out though, make sure you have your contact information on it, because even if they take it home, maybe it'll end up in somebody else's hands too. So just be aware, everything that leaves your table or booth, have your label or have some type of way for them to contact you on it. Bars, scent circles, room sprays, warmer boxes, whatever it is, if it doesn't have your name and somebody goes and picks it up somewhere and it doesn't have anything, they're just going to think they just, got it from Scentsy.com and not like from an actual person. Displays. I come from a retail background and I used to do merchandising, so I really like to make things, look nice, I guess. Tablecloths are going to be the first step in kind of streamlining how things look. If you have multiple tables, try and get the same tablecloths. Walmart has really cheap ones. If you don't have the money to grab like the consultant or the Scentsy branded ones from the store, just go to Walmart and get like the birthday party type ones, or they have other ones that you can grab too. They're very cheap. And if you're doing like a one-day event, don't be afraid to toss it when you're done. It's not going to make a difference. And don't be afraid to change tablecloths up with the seasons. At Walmart, I think the last 2 years, they always have like these plaid or flannel looking ones. And so sometimes holiday season, I get those just to go with the season. And then it kind of just ramps up the look of your table overall. For displays, I like to have variations in height. So some warmer boxes, I use those. I don't get the acrylic risers that a lot of people will get. You can turn the warmer boxes different ways to give different heights, and then just set the warmers on top of those. When I started, and you can see in the pictures, I used to use crates, mainly because I could carry everything in crates, and then also use them for display, so they were multi-purpose. I use diffuser boxes, and I always like to have a diffuser going too. I haven't done it, I don't think, at my last couple events. Maybe I have. I don't know. COVID put all of my events on hold. So, there's that. But elevate and showcase warmers, it'll help draw people in. I've used crates. I've used multi-shelf shoe racks because they're perfect for mini warmers or the smaller products that you want to build upwards with a display and not just have everything in a straight line. It looks better that way, but you can also showcase more if you build up. A lot of people will go and get like foldable shelving, or they get the cube looking, like the wire cube shelves stuff too. You can do it that way. I have a tabletop spin rack. If you saw my pictures yesterday, I have it on there. Initially, I used it for bars, but now, since I have my big rolling rack, I mainly use that for small events for my bars, or if it's a bigger event, I bring my rolling rack and then I put scent circles, room sprays on top of it. What else? Scent packs, pods, car bars, all of that kind of stuff goes on there. Pegboard is really inexpensive to use. Just go get some pegboard and some hinges and you can make a freestanding display that way. Anything that has the holes that you could hang stuff from, you could do it that way too. Everything can go on it. So I found that when I get everything off the table, like I used to stack bars. I got this off of Amazon, the washer. It's nice because when people see it on the display on the table, then I have it paired next to right where the laundry stuff is, so they kind of go together. And a lot of people don't really know that we have that stuff too. But I got my tabletop spin rack from Amazon. Check stores that are closing, because a lot of the time they'll be getting rid of fixtures for cheap. That's where I got my rolling rack, and a lot of the time they'll have just different things for displays. So always check there. It's sad when places close, but I will never be mad when they get rid of fixtures because we can use them all the time. Let's see. If you're able to get electricity, go for it, because having the warmers that are going to be lit up is going to draw people to you. People will see them from across the room, and they can be really nice conversation starters. And also have a diffuser running, so then you can show people how easy it is to use them, to add the water, to add the oils, and then they can see the full thing of how it works. You're going to sell more if you showcase them, I promise. Supplies that I always have. I always bring scissors. I always bring business cards, and I have this business card holder that I got from, I don't know, probably Joann's. I don't know. I used to get everything there. Well, a lot of stuff. When I started getting all the crates that I used to stack everything with, I'd get them from there. But it's just this, like a little mesh holder. I use them for business cards. Usually I'll have two if it's a big event placed around the tables. That way they're not just in one location, because I have people check out in one spot, and so it can kind of get congested in that area. So having them spread out throughout is nice, so people, no matter where they are in your booth, can grab them. I bring, let's see, my cash bag. Courtney made this for me. Supplies. Let me see. Scissors. You're going to have a whole lot of pens. You're going to have Sharpies. What else do I have in here? Highlighters, markers, kind of whatever. Packing tape if you want to close the boxes up when you're leaving. I just use big Scentsy boxes to haul everything in, or I use, I don't know, big boxes in general. Whatever I can find. Sometimes I get the totes from Walmart, just because they're bigger, and I can fit a lot of things in there. Let's see. Extension cords, power strips with a surge protector, so you can actually have multiple things lit up at one time. What else? Payments. I like to use Square personally for events. You can have the chip reader, the contactless chip reader, or you can get the little one that plugs into your phone. Funny story, I got this one for my old phone, and then I switched to the Samsung X20, and then it didn't have the plug-in anymore for it, so that was fun. Fun time. I don't even know where that is now, so that's great too. I tried to be prepared. I tried. But you don't have to use Square. You can use PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you want. It's up to you and whatever the customer wants to do, because not everybody's going to carry cash. So just kind of be prepared. Small events, I normally bring $300 in cash, because I never know what the turnout's going to be. But it's nice to have it. I break it up in ones, fives, tens, 20s. I don't go above that. Big events, I will bring 500 and change. It just depends. The last part of all of this is gathering customer info. You can fill out order forms for every sale. You can use the Scentsy drawing slips and the drawing boxes that they have in the consultant store. Anna likes to use Google Forms to collect info, and then getting their info, if they fill it out, then you can give them an exchange, like samples or a catalog. You can offer to invite them on social media, so that way you can get them in your customer groups, which I like to keep exclusive, because if people are buying from me, I want them to know my deals that I have going on. Or if we have anything coming out, upcoming sales or anything like that, any breaking news, that's what I like to do. I like to have them in my group because they hear everything first. I think that's it that I have, really. I don't really know. If anybody has questions, post it in the comments, or ask me, ask your leader, I don't know. Ask anybody. There is no dumb question. Just ask, because we want you to succeed, we want you to grow, and getting into events is a huge way to do that. We have had a whole year of everything pretty much being virtual, and so getting back into events is going to be crazy. It's basically massive action in a short period of time, and the results, if you do everything not right, because there's multiple ways to do things, but if you follow up and take care of the people that are there, they're going to keep coming back to you. And the more that people tag you on social media, it's going to be better for your business, because it's going to increase your visibility, and that is going to in turn bring more people to you. So that's all I have on events. Let me know if you have questions, though. I tried to cover a lot really quickly, but that's that. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday, and I hope that everybody goes and signs up for SFR, because today is the last day, and it's only $11, and that's part of your homework. If you're not already signed up for SFR, that's homework. If you can't afford it, reach out to somebody in the group and see if you can stream the event with them. They can host on Zoom. Or you might be able to create a room on Facebook and they can just screen share what they're streaming. I don't know if Facebook will allow it, but maybe. I don't really know. And then the other part of homework is to create a gathering or some type of get-together with your team to stream SFR. So if you're going to Camp SFR, you're already good. You're already signed up for SFR, and you're already going to be at a gathering. So remember, all of this stuff is investing in your business, and you don't have to spend all your money to make it work. There is a great group on Facebook that's all about vendor events and displays that I will share here too. You're more than welcome to ask questions there as well. And yeah, I'm hoping that this helps and can get you guys into some events for the fall. But do know, because events have been canceled pretty much the last year and a half, they may already have people lined up for this fall and winter that's going to be upcoming. But still, reach out and just to see. I mean, like I said in the beginning, always give them your info, because you never know if an emergency might come up and they need another person. So go for it, and you're going to do great. We're always here to help you. Yeah, but we're not mind readers, so if you do have questions, let us know. So that's it. Next week is going to be crazy with SFR, and it's going to be amazing, and I hope that every single one of you can check it out. And Brittany DeVoal is going to be going live and sharing her experiences about events today at some point. So stay tuned for that. So happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And happy packing to everybody that we're going to see next week. So bye.